Good morning and welcome to the most important meal of the day, the Breakfast Cafe. We give you a fresh start every day. I am Olumide Shukoya. Of course, like the house rules, I am not flying solo. I also have the beautiful and coincidentally we're both wearing the same color.
Yes,
This is Vivian Oguche.
oh my gosh, Olumide, how did that happen?
I don't know.
Just to let you guys know, it wasn't planned, I'm telling you.
It wasn't
Olumide just walked in and my mouth was open like this. Yeah, but you look stunning too. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. I'm so glad that we have come to just one day before we start counting down to what now? The weekend.
The weekend.
Yes.
My favorite.
That's your favorite day. There's something you said a couple of days that had me all cracked up. Yeah, but I'm not going to say it right now. But on that note, I say welcome to you guys. My name is Vivian Oguche. This is a breakfast cafe, in case this is your first time. And this is how we do it right here on High Impact TV every weekday. This promises to be a bumper edition. So if you're game, let's get this show on the road after this short break. Banter as it is, that's what this segment is called. And today, interesting topic, I must tell you, kudos to the producer. The diversities of retirement planning is what we're talking about. Does this concern you? Wait for it. Now, retirement planning is the process of preparing for your financial and personal goals. It also refers to the process of preparing for financial stability and security during retirement. And it can include saving in retirement accounts, investing wisely, and security during retirement. Now, this can include saving in retirement accounts, like I said earlier on, investing wisely, and considering factors, beg your pardon, like healthcare costs and lifestyle choices. Essentially, it's about ensuring that you have enough resources to maintain your desired standard of living once you stop working. It involves a lot. Olumide is taking it from
Yes, it involves the following. One, assessing your financial situation and goals. Yes, that is one of the things. For you to have a very good retirement savings, you must assess what you are earning, what you are able to accumulate, and be able to save something. You know, there is this saying that these days it's your savings that save you, but nevertheless, that's why companies, it is mandatory under, I think, labor law or the constitution, that your company is supposed to save something for you. You can also save something towards your retirement.
But how it goes is your company saves an amount.
Yes.
And you save as well. So the two merge together to form your retirement savings.
Savings. Now, another one is creating a sustainable income stream. Yes, for you to be able to save something really sizable, something you can fall back on, it has to be sustainable, which means it has to be regular, which means whether you like it or not, try and keep your job. Moving on, we have managing expenses and inflation. Yes, that is also important. Now, I think this applies for the entrepreneurs. You have to manage your expenses and inflation so that whatever you do, your retirement must not be affected. Now, investing and growing your asset, that is also good. That's why a lot of people buy a lot of assets. You know, sometimes they buy assets that they do not need, but it's just there. It's like it's holding that cash. So whenever they need it, and it could also appreciate, you know, like real estate and the rest of them. Now, planning for healthcare and long-term care. Yes, you know, there's a saying that while you are praying for abundant wealth, pray that you also last. So this is what is also talking about. Because while you are saving, you also need to make sure that you are healthy so that you can actually live long to enjoy your retirement saving. Yeah. Also, considering tax implication, developing a withdrawal strategy, that is also essential. Reviewing and adjusting your plan regularly, that is also essential. Now, we have this one. Retirement planning aims to ensure a comfortable and secure post-work life and allowing you to, one, maintain your standard of living. Yes, it helps when you save when you're actually saving, it actually not just for retirement. When you start saving, you form this habit of maintaining that standard of living. You don't go up, you don't go down. Well, you might go down if you want to, but you just maintain a certain level because you are saving. Now, you pursue hobbies and interests. You travel and explore. Yes, when you save, of course, you are able to travel and explore. You spend time with loved ones. I know of people who retire, and when they retire, all they do is just visit their children from different countries to different countries. That's all they do, and they are, enjoying themselves. And the last one, you leave a legacy. Yes, that's also important. I'll let Vivian take the next one.
All right, so let's take a look at effective retirement planning, and we'll focus on considerations like starting early. That's number one. Also consistency. You must factor that into your plan. You must be consistent, right? Number three, diversification. 4, risk management. And 5, tax efficiency. 6, inflation protection. Inflation protection, Olumide, like in Nigeria where the inflation is so high.
I don't know how that will be possible, but well.
Yeah, but you remember some students in the UK who were almost deported.
Yes.
Because the funds they had paid into their account was no longer enough for their school fees because of the inflation and the devalued naira. So you must factor this somehow into your plan. And number 7 is flexibility. And number 8 is professional guidance. That is essential. We also have retirement planning strategies, which involves utilizing employer-sponsored plans, like Olumide and I talked earlier on, individual retirement accounts, annuities, dividend-paying stocks. That is why you need a professional to understand some of these technical terms. Real estate investing, tax-advantaged accounts, sustainable withdrawal rates, bucketing, and segmentation. This is so important. Now, if you want more of this, you probably will have to go get a professional to help you understand some of these technical terms we just reeled out. I think that does it for us. Do you have more?
No, I think that's all.
All right, that does it for us on this particular segment. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll begin to take a look at the national dailies. Stay with us.
Do you know bad production can kill a great content idea?
Do you want to have a photo shoot, audio production, or do you need a professional voiceover artist?
Do you simply want unmatched cinematography, video production, or just event coverage, such as weddings, birthdays, or burials?
Or do you need a space for meetings or conferences? All these are possible with High Impact Studios. Don't bring down your creativity, let's help you take it high.
And out of this world with our state-of-the-art equipment and first-class studio space.
We give you the quality you deserve at the best rate.
For more details, call 0706 393 5694 or 0915 958 1881. High Impact Studios, the future.
Welcome back. This segment is the newspaper review on the Breakfast Cafe. This is where we get to review the newspapers on the national dailies, and you can also take part in the conversation as the number will be displayed on your screen. So please call us, tell us what's happening in your area, or if you want to take part in a discussion, we would also like to hear your views. Also, we're streaming on YouTube and of course on X, formerly known as Twitter, at High Impact Studios. So starting off with the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, it comes with a bold caption: NLC demands petrol price hike reversal. We have three riders to that story. Federal government denies involvement as NNPCL adjusts cost to 1,000 naira per litre. Now it is
actually says above.
Above, yeah, I beg your pardon, above 1,000 naira per litre. And the second rider says it is unbearable. Well, coming from the citizens. New pricing unfavorable to us. This is coming from Ipman, and it's a good thing that Ipman is also letting us know that they are also not in support of this thing. But
You
it's quite surprising.
you know who's silent out of all of these riders?
Dangote. Well, his silence might not mean he is for or against it. He might just be silent. He might just be tired of the whole situation, the whole back and forth. You know, now that we heard that NNPCL has removed their hands off this whole monopoly and all that, but we're getting 1,000 naira. And you would think that producing fuel locally should even be cheaper.
Yeah.
But we are getting above 1,000 naira. And we have Saudi Arabia, we have the Emirates enjoying the blessing of oil, and we can't even have one refinery working. We are still struggling, grappling a personal man's private business to sell fuel for us.
I'm telling you, the
at
more
an affordable price.
the more you look, the less you see.
It's quite interesting, and well, this is not what Nigerians bargained for, but well, let's see how that pans out. Just above that, we have NNPC PDP crisis, the People's Democratic crisis. It says party leaders clash over Atiku and Wike. This is not going away. And I think this whole Wike thing, it stems from the whole fact of his rift initially with Atiku Abubakar. That's where the whole thing started from.
Where Atiku dumped him for Okowa.
For Okowa.
Yes.
And, as a way to get back, he went to form the, I will not call it the rebellious group. They went to form the G5.
Yeah.
A group of 5 governors who kicked against the whole thing that Atiku did and all that. And since then, it has been here and there, from Wike to Atiku down to Fubara. And, it's really, really... I just hope that they are able to get their house in order before 2027.
That's the thing, because it's always been their downfall. Internal wrangling has always been the downfall of the PDP. Just before a major elections cycle, you begin to have this infighting. And what it does is to give the opposition power.
And to think that PDP was very powerful at a point. I think they were almost the only party.
Do you remember former President Olusegun Obasanjo saying the PDP was going to hold power for years, decades?
He shocked us when he tore his membership card.
Yeah, true.
All right, moving on, we have this one. NNPCL, NPA, NIETI, and 507 others score low in transparency and accountability. This is a report. You can get more of that details on the Daily Trust newspaper. Bandits kill 11, abduct others in Katsina communities. It's quite funny on the Independence Day speech by President Tinubu. He said they have neutralized banditry in the north, killed over 300 commanders, and they've actually neutralized insecurity in the north. But we're still getting these things these days.
So 11 have been killed and others abducted in Katsina. We do hope that the authorities get on this case and release the abductees.
You know, I watched a video, maybe when our guest comes on, I would like to get his own input. There's a video of Dauda Lawal, the governor of Zamfara. He said that the security agencies have the best equipment. They are well equipped to go after these terrorists.
So what's keeping them?
And the interviewer asked, so why have you, he said, that's $1 million question. He said, he even made the bold statement of saying they know these terrorists, they know where they live, they even know their parents.
So is it that they are scared, or is it that they are in bed with the terrorists?
When he was asked, he just said, well, the security operatives are doing their best. That was his answer.
Did you remember, okay, no, not did you. Do you remember former President Goodluck Jonathan saying that under his administration, the security architecture had been infiltrated?
Yes.
Is that likely what we're having now?
Well, I mean, the statement
Yeah.
Governor Lawal made was just too strong. Now, we have this one. It says, concerns over hurdles to mental health care in Nigeria. I mean, if you look at the things going on in this country, you know, just being mentally stable in Nigeria, it's a plus for every citizen in Nigeria. Now, moving on, woman, 4 grandchildren die after taking PAP.
Oh, God, this is unfortunate. Food
Quite
poisoning
sad.
or what now?
I think that it could be related to that. We have this one. Federal government finalizes plan for 0 VAT on pharmaceuticals. Well, I hope this will bring down the price of drugs in the coming weeks or months. And the last one, Plateau local government poll. Voting extended amid hitches. That's on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper. That's all we have coming from the Daily Trust newspaper.
Well, I've got The Guardian, and the major headline here is about World Mental Health Day. And it says, frustration, hardship sink more Nigerians into depression. And you have an infographic here, you know, infographics, beg your pardon, illustrating this particular caption. Right beside that, though, Army detains general over theft of palliative rice and military equipment.
Why are we getting, we got this one, I think a couple of days ago. Why?
Where somebody was alleged to have used palliative rice for birthday gifts.
Why are we, I mean, it's alarming how government officials take things meant for the people and store it up for themselves. It boils down on conscience. It's quite alarming.
This also draws our attention to how the federal government implements you know, these policies. It is rolling out to cushion the economic, what's it called, hardship. Who do you give these palliatives to give to the vulnerables? Why do you give them to officials? It's just like the president or the presidency giving bags of fertilizer to the National Assembly members. Why?
It beats me.
Yeah, well, let's continue to take a look at the front page of The Guardian. And this one says, more pains for Nigerians as PMS hits 1,000 naira per litre and threatens survival. If you remember the Daily Trust, Olumide read that it is over 1,000 naira that the NNPCL has pegged the price. We also have the story here. Emefiele violated Naira redesign procedure. Ex-CBN chief testifies. Page 6 or page 5 has details of that story. It looks like the plot is thickening for former CBN governor Emefiele. We also have this one here on the front page of The Guardian. PDP NWC splits over internal crisis. This one here has a picture of Milikiari here, and I think it regards the price of PMS, like we said earlier on. We have Aiyedatiwa sacks aid over alleged 30 million naira bribe and orders probe. Away from that confusion, the Senate insists on full local government autonomy. You see,
what is full? It has been signed into law.
Yeah, but you do remember, you and I were on this platform some days ago where the NLC was asking that the salaries of workers in the local government shouldn't be given to the chairman to handle. but it looks like the National Assembly is insisting.
Yes, let's
on
go full.
Yeah, let's go full. So let me quickly take the last story here, and it's about Edo. It says thugs, disrupt PDP inspection of beavers as INEC shifts inspection of materials. Page 29 has details of that story, and that wraps it up for us on the front page of The Guardian.
All right, quickly, let's move on to the Punch newspaper this morning. The Punch newspaper gives us a better insight of the fuel hike price. It says here 1,030 naira per litre. So I think that's the current price right now, 1,030 naira per litre. NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress, demands reversal as fuel queues resurface. One writer to that story says petrol nears 1,300 naira. So 1,030 naira is not the actual figure, it's not the stable figure right now. We're aiming for 1,300 naira per litre. In states, as NNPC hikes pump price again, APC and opposition clash. I thought it has been deregulated, so why is NNPC still involved in this regulation?
That's the thing. And we were promised that it is no longer the middleman. So I don't understand what's happening.
I really don't understand why this is still going on, but well, let's see. When we get our analyst, we'll try and make sense of this. Now, just beside the masthead, it says, Rivers Commissioner of Police visit raised local government secretariat as probe begins. You can find that on page 30 of the Punch newspaper. And above that, we have Senate faults governors on fresh move on local government allocation. We discussed that earlier also. Tinubu government borrowed $6.45 billion from World Bank. I'll take that again. Tinubu's government borrowed $6.45 billion from World Bank. This is a report. I mean, if you have time, you can do the conversion in naira and be alarmed just as I am. And beside that, we have North Central PDP caucus present Damagun as Damagun's replacement October 24. North Central PDP caucus present Damagun's replacement October 24th. That's on page 11. Now we have a picture here. You can see that from the looks of it, it's the fuel queues in different filling stations. You can see the price of petrol at NNPCL. I'm seeing 998 naira. I don't know which day this was. And another picture of another fuel a queue in Abuja. Now, moving on, let's see what we have. We have 3 more stories to go. Former President Buhari didn't approve Emefiele's Naira redesign. This is coming from a CBN ex-deputy governor. This is another kind of one.
Yes, and it is mind-boggling. So why did former President Muhammadu Buhari keep mum while the whole drama unfolded if he didn't give his approval?
That begs another question. And, well, let's see where this probe. I just want us to see the end of this whole investigation. Let's know if heads are to roll. How many heads are to roll? Because right now it seems like it's only Emefiele's head that is, ongoing. Now let's move on. We have 20-year-old Ogunfan Sika drowns in hotel pools.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's quite sad. That's on page, I think, page 5 of the Punch newspaper. And lastly, in Edo State, PDP APC clash stalls poll material inspection. That's on page 16 of the Punch newspaper. And that's all we have coming from the Punch newspaper this morning.
Well, let's take a look at the Vanguard major headline: anger as petrol price goes up a 3rd time in 2 months. A rider to that story says price up by 15% to 1,030 naira per litre in Abuja, 998 naira in Lagos. A second rider says we are seeing complete deregulation. This is coming from marketers. So Lumide, that answers your question. What we're seeing now is called complete deregulation. And this one is coming from the CPPE, says latest increase regrettably ill-timed, and I agree. This is just the wrong timing for this. Major picture here on the front page of the Vanguard. It's talking about the fuel situation after price hike yesterday. That's Wednesday. You see cars parked. It's probably causing gridlocks now across board. We also have the story below that Unilag UI lose top rankings as CU emerges best Nigerian university in 2024. CU could be Covenant University. Fantastic. We also have this one here is security related. Army probes brigade commander over alleged diversion of palliatives. Beside that, federal government will flush out bandits, criminals from Northwest. This is coming from Matawali.
Federal government will flush out.
Yeah.
Or federal government will flush out. So contrary to what... Well,
contrary to what the president has said, that they had been flushed out. So this is futuristic. But it's also a promise. I say amen to that.
All right.
Let's see if we have more stories. Above the masthead, net foreign exchange inflow rises 67% to $27.6 billion. Details of that you find page 910. Military lacks weapons, morale to defeat terrorists. This is coming from Undume, a senator. This is it's just the opposite of what you said, Olumide. One of the governors has said that the military is well equipped. Undume, a senator, is saying they are ill-equipped. So we need to find out who's saying the truth.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, beside that story, though, we have this one. Federal government gazettes executive order on zero VAT, excise duties for manufacturing firms. Also, gunmen attack army camp, kill soldiers in Imo. That is very unfortunate. Last but not least, sports page. And when you want, if you want details of that, just go to 30. But this is a sneak peek. AFCON 2025, full house in Uyo. Our Super Eagles get set to peck Libya. That wraps it up for us on the front page of the Vanguard and, of course, the first part of the newspaper review. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we are coming back with a guest analyst. It's a promise. Stay with us.
Prospicians, Prospicians, Prospicians.
Well, it's the second half of the newspaper review right here on Breakfast, the Breakfast Cafe. I am Vivian Oguche, and right opposite me is Olumide Ashokoya. Now, we're being joined by our guest analyst, like we promised, Shiji-Bomi Adebiyi Bennett. He is a social commentator, and Shiji is well, I say it's a pleasant one to have you join us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to you in the studio. Good morning to the viewers.
Right. Let's begin with this headline, major headline on the front page of the Vanguard. It says, anger as petrol price goes up third time in 2 months. Now, there's a particular rider I would like to draw your attention to. It's coming from the CPPE. Says, latest increase regrettably ill-timed. Do you agree?
On emotional level, yes.
Oh, okay.
But on the realistic side of things, I'm not surprised, and I will not agree. My foundation is geology, and I have an MSc in renewable energy, which is what everybody is going into. So I know that when you let's say the regulated sector, now the onus lies on market demands to dictate the prices to you. And every time I have the opportunity to talk to people or to discuss, I just tell them, anybody, any layman can know the crude oil price per time. Just use your phone, Google the crude oil price, maybe which is around $73 per barrel, and multiply that at 1,600, which the average dollar prices of today, or 1,650. It gives you the Naira value of crude oil. But that's per barrel. How many liters do you have in a barrel? It's just 159. So divide that by 159. So you know the price of the crude oil per liter. Then put the 100 naira or 150 naira, and which used to be when you import, but today, because it's Dangote, maybe it's less than 100 naira or 80 naira to import to refine a liter. So just put it, you get the prices. The government is no more in control. So the same way it happens everywhere in the world. Today you can get to the filling station and buy maybe a liter at 59 cents if you're in the US, or 65 cents. If you're in the UK, maybe a gallon, 1 pound 40 pence. If you're using a diesel car, if you're using a petrol car, 1 pound 30 pence. So it depends. So, and it fluctuates like that. Sometimes it comes down and sometimes it goes up, but it's always marginal, because you can't have a situation whereby the price of crude oil in the international market will just go from maybe a $73 per barrel to 150 or 200. It's always a marginal, increases per day. And because it increases per day, it doesn't mean the price will be reflected every day at the filling stations, because they will be using old stock as well. So that's the thing. It's going to be like that. And we just pray that the price of crude continues to fall so that it comes down. At the time that Muhammadu Buhari came to power, it came to like $28 per barrel. If I have a situation whereby it comes to, though it's less revenue for the country as well, but if they can make do with that by exploiting more. So if you have a situation whereby it's average of $50 per barrel, simple mathematics, 50 times 1,006, that's 8,000 naira per barrel of crude. Divide 8,000 by 159. You get what it is in terms of per liter of crude. Them had how much to maybe 100 naira to refine from Dangote to it a liter. That's all. But so we're going to be having that back and forth. But the earlier people get used to it, the better.
Should you, if I may indulge you in this, with all this calculation, I think it's based on if we're exporting or if we're importing fuel. But we have it in Nigeria. NNPCL sells to Dangote, Dangote refines it and sells by. So, I mean, we should be able to exclude this $78 per barrel and all that. Don't you think it should be lesser, since it's done in Nigeria, it's gotten in Nigeria, it's refined in Nigeria, and it's sold back to Nigeria? Shouldn't it even be lesser than the 78 or even 30 something dollar per barrel?
Yes, that's one thing again that Nigerians need to know. It can be lesser unless you now introduce subsidy or under recovery. It's an international commodity. So if it is said crude oil is for example, if crude oil is $70 per barrel, in Nigeria you can't sell at $50 per barrel because you have it, because it's yours. It's not possible. It's an international commodity. We're members of OPEC. We're not Iran, who is not in OPEC, unless Nigeria pulls out of OPEC. So the only thing the government can do, which they are now doing with Dangote, is to say 70 times 1,006, which is like 11,000, thereabout. My calculation is right. So and say, okay, instead of Dangote looking for dollars, scarce dollars to buy it, pay the Naira value, which is like 1,001 or maybe 11,000 or 12,000, but they can now reduce it a bit. Okay, let's give him a 10,000 flat. But when you do that, you are also subsidizing the whole West African region. because that means people in Togo, people in Benin Republic, as far as Central African Republic, will now get the fuel cheaper because they prefer to buy the Nigerian one than to get the one coming from abroad, if you get what I mean.
Yes.
So the most the government can do is to get it at the Naira value and a bit of reduction so that they can use the NIFEX window or the interbank window instead of using the parallel market window. So which can be 1.550 per at the rate of dollar instead of maybe 1.6. So that still gives a bit of what's it called, reduction to Dangote. And don't forget that Dangote is not just going to be selling to Nigeria. So if you sell crude of 450,000 barrels every day, which they are trying to do now to Dangote, and we don't need as much as that. So you've reduced too much for Dangote. Dangote will just sell to the Nigerian market at that subsidized rate, then sell the rest and make double profit when he's selling to Ghana and he's selling to other countries.
All right, Shiji.
So
let's
forget let me just conclude. Let's forget about subsidy on fuel for Nigerians. Let's deal with subsidy on maybe electricity, on other things, so that we can augment anything that ameliorate any pain it can bring, and focus on let Dangote do his business, but considering Nigerians, putting the benefit of Nigerians in mind.
All right. Now, based on what you just said, this is a full picture of a deregulated market, right?
Yes.
Good. And then you talked about subsidies, removal from other things. If you remember, not too long ago, the federal government removed subsidy from, what's it called, pilgrimages, the Hajj pilgrimage, and all of that. So let's quickly move on to some...
It was an irresponsible decision in the first place. Apologies.
No, say that again. Shiji, let me hear you. What was an irresponsible decision?
To subsidize pilgrimages. It's like...
Well, I think we're having network issues.
No, we are going to get Shiji back.
We're going to get him
and he's
back.
going to land on
He
that
has to tell
statement.
us.
I like it. He was going to say it is an irresponsible decision to subsidize a pilgrimage in the first place. Shiji, are you back?
No,
He's not back yet, but we'll have him land on that.
I would like to.
Yes, I would like that. But you see his analysis of the subsidy removal. It means that the presidency was trying to take its hands off subsidy slowly so that the impact won't be too hard on Nigerians. Is that it?
While not producing. Okay, let's take Ayo. Ayo from Ogun State, good to have you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Actually, I just listened to our guest this morning now. Now, you see, what I want to say is this. This issue of Nigeria being in OPEC and we buy the same fuel with people that don't have fuel, I don't think that's something reasonable anyway. Because, so what is the benefit of we Nigerians that God gives these natural resources? Mind you, with this explanation, it shows that we are still be buying the product more than the price that we also be buying it. Because with calculation, I did calculation, I realized that the petrol we are buying in Nigeria is even costlier than everywhere part of the world. Because with the way you said the barrel is like 78 and we have 159 in one barrel, so I was able to do calculation. I realized that it's even more expensive buying in Nigeria than buying in UK, in America that does not even have this fuel. So now, what is the joy of Nigeria that we have these natural resources? That is my question.
Good.
Thank you.
Right.
I don't know what I will have. Shiji. Shiji, are you there?
Because if that's the case, should we now start buying imported
Yes, I can hear you.
All right,
Can you hear
Shiji.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Did you get the last caller? Did you get what he said?
Yes, I'm going to address that because I think I was the one that made the mistake. So let me just let the caller know. So if you are looking at let's even say $70 per barrel. $70 times 1,006 is 112,000, not 11,000. It's 112,000 per barrel.
Okay.
So if you divide that by 159 liters in a barrel, it gives you 704 naira per liter.
Shiji, just
That's
hold.
crude.
Shiji, just hold your sauce, yeah? I'm coming back to you. Do not forget, we have another caller. Please, caller. Good morning. Who's calling?
Yes, good morning.
Bola from Ondo. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Yes, I just want to ask you.
Bola, before you go on, just could you Bola, could you just turn down the volume of your TV set a little bit?
The discussion going on.
Can you hear me?
The discussion going on, we have not factored in the fact that with the crude oil we are getting in Nigeria and being refined by Dangote refinery, it's not only PMS that we get out of the crude oil. There are some other derivatives of close to about 40. And it's not going to do that one for free. So how we just basing our calculation on just PMS? I'd like to contribute to that.
Fantastic question, Bola. So, now, Shiji, you have two questions you must settle now. You were going to land on the first one. I see you doing your calculations. Do you realize, Shiji, that there are people listening to you, following you? They have their calculators. They are calculating with you. So could you land with the first caller and then answer the second caller?
I'll quickly do that.
All
so I just checked that it's like $74 per barrel average as of today. So 74 times 1,006, it gives us 118,400 per barrel. So, and don't forget that it's 159 liters in a barrel. So divided by 159, it gives us 744 naira per liter of crude.
Okay.
744 naira per liter of crude. So you now look at transporting it to Dangote, refining it, and bringing it back. So all those costs, so by the time you had maybe plus 150 per liter, that's like 894. So which is like a 900, the margin of transporting the refined petroleum to the different depots and different parts of the country. So as of today, I believe if Dangote is not selling those stock, if he's still doing, if it's the Naira crude swap and they're selling to him in Naira, it should be around maybe 950, not 1,000 thereabout. But these things are very easy to know. So there is no way petrol will come back to like 200 or 300 because it's been deregulated. And it's not because I'm in that sector. I'm not in that sector. I just studied it. So I'm buying it as every other person is buying it. Now, the other thing I want to do, the other question the person asked is,
Bola.
It is that is in our backyard, right? So we shouldn't be maybe paying as much. And I've addressed that. It's something okay that there are so many other products you generate.
Before you go into that, Shiji, sorry, before you go, he also asked that as a result of our membership with OPEC, they are the ones, it seems as if they are the ones determining this price. So what is the benefit that we are gaining from OPEC? That was his question. Okay.
The benefit of OPEC in the world over is a standardized market.
Okay.
So that they don't just because from OPEC you can even see and trace where oil bunkering is coming from, if you get what I mean. So because every country has a rota, and per day you are supposed to be publishing how much you exploit. So if country A, country B, country C, country D, they are getting more, they are getting like 3 million liters. Which countries are you getting it from? So easily, that's why the government was able to trace the people buying our illegal crude oil to Europe.
Hold that thought, please. Hold that thought. We have Adeleke again from Kogi, if I'm correct. Good morning. Let's have your thoughts quickly, in less than a minute.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to contribute to this comment.
The floor is yours.
Is there any way the government can subsidize the CNG conversion for the Nigerian citizens so that we can able to carry our people again?
Okay.
CNG will be the best, but conversion cost is too much.
Okay.
I don't know how the federal government can help us subsidize the conversion to the CNG so that everything is okay for us.
Thank you very much, Adeleke.
Very well noted. So I would like for Shiji to continue with what he was saying.
Yes.
And also, please remember to answer Bola's question. He talked about the other derivatives of crude. So remember that as well. And then maybe answer our caller from Kogi too.
Okay, so as a standardized market, you get so many benefits that I can't go to. I'm not in that sector, but from the top of my head, I know that if they allow everybody to be selling bread you even get poisonous bread. That's or poisoned bread.
Yeah.
But because there are people that regulate this and they know the standard for you to even bring out. So they set all the standards so your cars are not really damaged, even though there are still substandard that get into different countries, especially Africa, but it's still basic and it's still okay. So you don't get your car damaged. So those are the things.
In other words, you're saying it's important for us to be a member of OPEC.
If you are not a member, we've signed so many treaties and so many affiliations that will.
So is that a yes? Let me quickly pick this. It's a yes. All right, yes. I got another caller from Abuja. Thank you so much for calling. Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Yes, please.
My question I want to ask the guest analysis. Since this product is a global product and is being controlled by the OPEC, is Nigeria the present price the cheapest in the whole country controlled by OPEC or the highest? And if it is the cheapest or the highest, why is difference in prices in different countries? This is being controlled by all in the world and the other OPEC. Is Nigeria the cheapest? Because I heard for this high impact TV that there's an African country selling for less than 50 something or thereabout. So is that country price being controlled by the same OPEC? Or is Nigeria OPEC different? Because we want to know, because the effect of this, the way you are saying it, different from the way ordinary man on the street is saying it. The effect of this in the market is being controlled by it. The effect of not in Nigeria is different from what it is in the other countries. The way we are saying is different from the other countries. So we want to know. Because if there is any country selling less than Nigeria, and maybe just people are other OPEC, so why the difference in prices in different countries?
Yeah, that's a valid question. Thank you so much. Was that Michael?
Shiji, you've been loaded up this morning.
Shiji, can you remember all the questions you need to answer? Could you answer Bola's question? What happens to the profit from the other derivatives from crude, like Bola asked?
Let me quickly answer that.
Okay.
When you are not in charge of your destiny, that's what happens.
Uh-huh.
So when you sell crude to Dangote and you want to get petrol, you will now be asking Dangote, how many liters did you get from other derivatives, the petrochemicals and all that?
Yeah.
You can't ask those questions. It will tell you how much it took, how much money it took again to process those. But if our own refinery was working, the two in Port Harcourt and Warri, that is when we can look at those derivatives to now subsidize the price of petrol. So this is very easy to know with diesel. Today you get diesel 1.2, tomorrow it's 1.150, tomorrow it's 1,000, tomorrow it's 1,003.
Shiji,
it's been regulated for a long time.
I'm so sorry, Shiji. Hold your thoughts. Hold your horses. I'll be right back. Simon from Lagos, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, my question is very simple. Your discussant, your guest said one barrel of crude oil is equivalent to 159 liters of PMS, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
If it is so, and the information we get is that 1 barrel of crude oil, if it's refined, can get you PMS, get you other of PMS, and it's the only PMS that one can get from one barrel that is 159 that is. Now this man has used that to say 159 and whatever that is. So what if there are other products that you can get from one barrel of PMS?
Yes, they are.
So what can we do?
Thank you so much, Simon. That's the question Shiji is actually answering. Shiji, we are wrapping this up in 2 minutes. Could you please answer this question? I think it's just the same with Bola. And then also answer the gentleman from Kogi who asked for subsidizing the CNG conversion. Yeah.
Yes, the CNG is the best. So I will start from saying there is one important statement I didn't make in the beginning. The challenge with the price of crude oil or the price of petrol in Nigeria is not the price itself, but our exchange rate. Please, emphasis on that.
Good. Now you are hitting the nail on the head. Yes.
Yes, the exchange rate is the issue. And if you still look at it, 80% of the countries or 90% of the countries around us still sell more expensive petrol. Use your phone, just fact check me. Western world, you can look at the price of petrol in the Western world. In the UK today, petrol is like 1.33. That £1 33 pence. So if you look at that, that's around 2,200 per liter. In the US, it's the same thing. It's like 1,000 plus per liter. Close to 2,000 naira per liter. So if you look at that, you will know that it's still subsidized because the standard those other countries set and the way all the other prices they factor into it makes it go up. The only difference in those countries is the earning ability, any
standard
capacity
of living
is more. So that's it. So, but in Nigeria, the earning capacity is low, 70,000 naira minimum wage. So it's not. If you look at minimum wage in those countries and you compare it, it's just like saying minimum wage in those countries is as much as 1 million naira or 800,000 naira minimum. So the people have capacity to purchase it no matter the price. So that's the challenge.
Shiji,
so then,
what you just okay, yeah, go ahead. But I was going to say what you just said explains it all. Right? Yes. Standard of living and exchange rate is actually
rate.
Yeah, yes, so you were going to answer another question before we wrap up.
It's the problem. So having said that, I would just advise everybody, don't wait for the government CNG. Look at the kit. Look at how it's been done. If you have a brother, a sister, someone, a benefactor, anywhere in the world, get the CNG kit. Let the person do you that favor. Get the CNG kit to you. Pay for fixing the CNG kit. That's all. Because it's like 1/5 of what you spend on petrol. Trust me. So don't wait for government. Don't wait for all this. Find a way to go around it. It's not rocket science. So that we can just benefit and have a better life and save more money for other more important things.
But how safe is this CNG? Because it's also highly inflammable.
Petrol is also highly inflammable. How many times have you had CNG buses or tankers burst into flames? Because it's cylinder. If it's not too hot, if you go through the safety procedures and everything, it's fine.
Okay.
But you just have to make sure you go through the safety. People have been using it for 6-8 months. There's some drivers in Lagos, there's some drivers in Abuja that have been using CNG. They spend 5,000, 8,000 every day. They still charge as if they are buying petrol.
Shiji, have you succeeded in converting? Have you started using the CNG yet?
No, I've not.
But you plan to? You plan?
But I know people that have been using it.
Okay, but do you plan to use it?
Not yet, because I'm not commercial, and if you add the government, they are prioritizing commercial vehicles. So because it brings down the rate of transportation of goods and services.
Yeah.
Now, for us private people, I can decide to hop on a bus.
Yeah.
It's nothing that I can decide to go on a BRT. I can decide to take my car out just on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost everything is remote now. We're talking to each other. I've not stepped out of my house.
Yeah. On that note, we thank you for hopping on this show with us today.
It's quite engaging.
It has been robust, engaging, and enjoyable. We do hope to have you back again not too long from now. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shiji, for being a part of this.
Thank you for having me.
All right. It has been fantastic, Olumide.
You know, I would love a situation where we have Shiji Bonnet and Dr. Adedayo.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be firecrackers, I'm telling you.
Because Dr. Adedayo Kayode is of the opinion that petrol should be sold, I think, 18 naira per liter. So I would like him to give his own explanation and calculation. Shiji has already given his own, and we would like to see how we can compare both.
I would like to appreciate our callers who made this a very robust conversation. Thank you so much. We have been talking to Shiji Bomi Adebiyi Bennett. He is a social commentator, and that wraps it up for us on this segment called the Newspaper Review. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the show continues. Stay with us.
as a child. What is most important to you is love, warmth, acceptance, and security. But as you grow, there is a paradigm shift in the way you approach life. The interest you lose in some things, you pick in other things. Sometimes, the road is smooth. Other times, it is rough. Every step of the way comes with a new hurdle to scale. You win some, you lose some. You laugh hard, you cry hard, but at the end, you look back with a fulfilling smile and say, what a ride. High Impact Television equips you with what you need every step of the way.
Do you know bad production can kill a great content idea?
Do you want to have a photo shoot, audio production, or do you need a professional voiceover artist?
Do you simply want unmatched cinematography, video production, or just event coverage, such as weddings, birthdays, or burials?
Or do you need a space for meetings or conferences? All these are possible with High Impact Studios. Don't bring down your creativity, let's help you take it high.
And out of this world with our state-of-the-art equipment and first-class studio space.
We give you the quality you deserve at the best rate.
For more details, call 0706 393 5694 or 0915 958 1881. High Impact Studios, the future.
Welcome back. This is Views from the Net. It's still the Breakfast Cafe. And if you're just joining in, this is a segment where we throw out a question the previous day and we get a response to educate and inform ourselves. So the question for today, or the question we threw out yesterday, was if you had the choice, what would you be in your next life? So Vivian, let me ask you.
No. I'm throwing this ball right at you. You know, we had a very, how will I say it now, hard argument just before we came on board. So Olumide, if you were to, what would you be if you had a chance to come back in your next life?
Simple. The world's richest man, Elon Musk. $195 billion. It's not a joke.
I won't say to you what I said on air, what I say to you off air. But I'm thinking, I think I'm happy. I would just want to be me when I come back again.
You?
Yeah.
Quite inspiring.
I know, right? So what are the people saying? Are you going first?
All right, let's start. This one says, I would like to be a surgeon in the United States. Aha, not in Nigeria, imagine. My reason is simple. I enjoy seeing surgeons do their work in the operating room. This is Timmy from Ogba. Timmy, you can be a surgeon in Nigeria. You still make a killing in Nigeria also.
Yeah, but you were the one that asked her what she want to be or who she want to be in her next life.
I just want to be the richest
You
man.
want to be the richest man. Well, let's find out what Kemi is saying. Kemi says, I'd like to be a military personnel in the army. Reason is that they are always respected wherever they go and they treat them with care. Awesome. But also remember that and a senior army official is being investigated right now for selling palliative rice. Can you beat that? Well, you are up next, Olumide.
Right, it says in my, it says, a deep sigh. In my next life, I would focus more on developing my technical skills and investing less time and effort in traditional schooling. As I believe that my current educational path has not been the most effective use of my time. Ayokule Modupe from Lagos. This is very hilarious.
Yeah.
Are you saying school is a scam, or, I mean...
No, those were not Ayo's words exactly.
Okay,
but I think I can relate.
to that.
It's very illuminating, your comment, Ayo. Thank you so much. But who's this now? Well, let's read the comment first. It says Ray Manchester, Captain Man from the Heavy Danger series. Really? Okay. They have no real life problems, right? And I'll be indestructible. What more could I want? I'll join the army, join the navy, do whatever I want. I'll be the most wanted because I can't die. This is Shama from Ipaja. Whoa!
The most wanted.
Hilarious. Thank you so much.
Now, this person says, I would love to come back as a sports legend. Aha. Maybe like, well, it says, inspiring future generations through my achievement in sports sounds amazing. This is Femi from Ibadan.
So when he said he would like to come back as a sports legend, you were like, say, how about Maradona, Pele, Ronaldo, Messi?
I was going to say Ronaldo or Messi, but I don't want that comparison. That's why I just kept quiet.
Okay, well, this next comment says, in my next life, I will be a jollof rice pot. Oh my gosh, let me take that again. In my next life, I will be a jollof rice pot at a Nigerian wedding. Everyone will fight over me, and I'll always be the star. Bola from Lagos. You guys are killing it today.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Jollof rice is always quite interesting.
Yeah, and there is this debate over Nigerian jollof rice as against Ghanaian jollof rice.
Nigerian jollof rice is the best. Hands down, I won't lie. Now, this next one is Fumi from Abuja. It says, I would love to come back as a CBN governor.
What?
Mefele or Cardoso.
Do you want to be in Mefele?
Maybe Cardoso.
Okay, Cardoso.
I would love to come back as a CBN governor so I can just print money from...
You will end up being an Emefiele, I'm telling you.
You just want to print money.
Oh my gosh, you guys are cracking me up today. That was for me from Abuja, right? I got Ifeanyi from Owerri who says, I'd love to be an ATM machine. Gosh, at least people will queue up just to see me. Ifeanyi from Owerri. Okay, thank you so much. Let's continue. This one says, I'd love to come back as a Nigerian auntie. Are you kidding? I'll dish out unsolicited advice, ask when I'm getting married, and eat all the food at parties without remorse. This is Amaka from Enugu. Thank you so much. The next one says, in my next life, I would like to be a bird. I'd love to fly freely and see the world rather from above. Joy from Abuja. Joy, you just read my mind. Sometimes I wake up and say, God, I wish I was as free as a bird. Olumide Two-Face had a song like that.
Yes,
yeah?
I want to be free like a bird.
Yes, I like
Birds
it.
can be shut down. So
yeah.
Not to be a sports spot, but birds can be shut down.
Well, did you just see that? I won't take you up on that.
All right, now, this next person, this is Ola from Abuja. He says, I want to come back as a mountain. Wow, I would love to stand tall and witness the beauty of nature over centuries. Well, Ola from Lagos.
I like it. I like it. I've got this one. It's Chinonso from Enugu, and Chinonso says, I'd like to be a historical figure. Experiencing significant events in history will be fascinating. I agree. Thank you so much.
Maybe like the 3 wise men at the toll gate.
Yeah.
Or how about Macaulay? Maybe. Well, historical figures.
The 3 wise, how did you say it again?
The 3 wise men.
Do you know what some people used to call them?
Yeah.
Arometa.
Yes. Now, this is a Maker. Maker says, I want to come back as a celebrity's pet. Quite hilarious. Why a celebrity? Why not just a celebrity?
Yeah, but okay, maybe is Emeka going to explain?
Yes, it says, just think about it. Groomed daily, fed the best food, and I'll never have to work. A maker from Abuja. Well, I think Elon Musk is still working, but with the amount in his bank account, I don't think he really has to work.
So I'd rather be a celebrity than a celebrity's pet.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so interesting comments we had there. There was this particular person you talked about who wanted to be a mountain. There's something about majestic views. There's something about waterfalls. There's something about beautiful trees. There's something about nature, right? I think I can relate with that particular comment, but I don't think I want to come back and be a mountain. I want to come back as a human being who will go see beautiful mountains and waterfalls.
Well, if I look at it, I would like to be Ronaldo's son. I remember an interview.
His
yes,
son,
yes,
and not Ronaldo.
Ronaldo said one of his biggest problems is trying to keep up with his son's expenses. That all he does is just spend lavishly.
Wow.
I mean, he starts to give figures of how much he spends on food, haircuts, his girlfriend, shopping. I mean, you know, being the son of a billionaire is more interesting than being the billionaire. I mean, you don't have to worry about, you know, being the you the one working.
But I'd like to be the billionaire, though. What if the money runs out? What happens?
The money, billionaires don't run out of
Next. Okay, billionaires don't run out of money.
Yes, the money, they make money, I think, every minute or every hour. So the money, I mean, $195 billion. I mean, what would do you know how long it would take for you to spend that money?
But doesn't that leave you the next of kin? Doesn't that make you lazy? You wouldn't now explore your own potentials. You now be totally dependent on the wealth.
You can explore your potentials.
Okay.
I've seen a billionaire's son who decided wanted to be a DJ. That's exploring. I mean,
Yeah.
DJ Cup is there.
Yeah,
also.
we have DJ Copy.
So
yeah.
I mean, so you can actually, you know, when you have much money to throw around, you can actually go after your dreams.
Yeah.
You can actually do some things, try some things, make errors. You won't be scared of making errors. You won't be scared of going after so many things. You could wake up today and say, okay, I want to be a chef.
Yeah.
I try it and it doesn't work. And it's okay, I've learned my lesson.
You know, I like your argument. The fact that you have a billionaire father or mother doesn't stop you from exploring your potentials. Exactly. I mean, just some days ago, I was watching our sports program, Sports Hub.
Yes.
Yeah, where Adeniyi Falana was, you know, talking about LeBron James and his son. They were both playing on the pitch. It was awesome, right?
Tiger Woods also.
Yeah.
He and the son. I mean, so when you are the son of, it's even more interesting. It's sweeter when you're the son of. I mean, look at Davido. All he ever, Davido is one of the celebrities that has been dragged over time, and his reply has always been, "Is it because my father is a billionaire? Is that my fault?" So you can imagine. I mean, being the son of, I'm trying to remember the son of this Indian billionaire who just got married. I mean, the wedding was grand.
Wow.
In its grandeur, it was classic. I think one of our artists was paid, I think, about $3 million just to perform 5 minutes.
Yeah. Was it Wizkid?
No, not Wizkid. I think it was Rema.
Okay.
All the celebrities across the world were there. The billionaires were there. Everybody was there. The wedding, I think the wedding was about for 7 days. It was lavished. It was.
And this was a child of a billionaire getting married. Okay, so now let me put you on the spot before we wrap this up. Initially, you said you would like to come back as the world's richest man. But you also said you would like to come back as the son of a billionaire.
Well, that's giving it a second thought.
Which is it now? Which one?
A son of a billionaire.
Okay.
Next of king.
You guys take note. That's what he wants to be.
I mean, there's no joy as being the next of king, knowing that yes, you have so much money and you're just, well, you're not waiting for your parents to die, but well, you have so much money. I mean, these days, if you look at, I think Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter, I'm trying to remember her name, she's already a millionaire in dollars. She's already, she controls a whole lot. Rihanna
I think it's Blue Ivy or something.
Blue Ivy.
Yeah.
Do you understand? She's already a millionaire in dollars. If you look at Rihanna's child also, she's already a millionaire.
In fact, the late Michael Jackson's children,
yes,
they are flexing off their father's estate right now, even though he's
the same with Kanye West's daughter, I think, Northwest.
Yeah.
She's already a millionaire in dollars.
Are you talk about Serena Williams' daughter, their first daughter, Olympia? She owns a sporting, what's it called? She's an, I don't know the name, but she owns a company right now that's sports related at her age.
Exactly.
Her parents bought for her.
Her parents bought for her. So parents now are beginning to, invest in their children.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to wait till you're 18 or 21 to, be rich. You can start living that life. You can start earning money. And, gradually, as they grow, well, whether lazy or not, they will be incorporated into that work system. They will know how money comes in and goes out. How they decide to spend it is their own problem. I mean, so I think that's it. And it's part of, being able to plan for the future. So coming as the next of king or a billionaire son, I mean.
Yeah, but one of the very weird contributions we had was the person who wanted to come back as a plant. I mean, have you considered that?
The person who wanted to come back as jollof rice.
Oh, yeah. That one is funny. That one is very funny. It's not even jollof rice the person wanted to come back as. The jollof rice pot.
Pot, yes. Well,
Very,
I think he just wants to
very
be the
elaborate.
most sought after.
Yeah.
That's and the one who wanted to be a surgeon in America. I mean, not even in Nigeria.
But I can relate. I mean, you in Nigeria, you have resident doctors going on strike every once in a while because they are not paid, they are not taken care of, no welfare. But if you go abroad, you get good pay. But then again, those who jackpot, by the way, guys, is when it's a slang, it's a Nigerian slang for those who have left their country, you know, in search of greener pastures. Those who jackpot eventually started complaining that they were being overworked there.
Yes,
But they still didn't come back, though.
They still didn't come back because, first of all, you know, you are a second-class citizen over there.
So home is always home.
Home is always home, except you were born there and you've nationalized and every other thing. So you become a second-class citizen. So you do menial jobs. Cleaners, washing the toilet,
working in morgue,
working in factories and all that, you know, and you earn, well, even the amount you earn is still better than what you'll be earning at home. That's why they don't want to come back. But it reduces your status for a while.
But you earn more.
But you earn more. And if you're able to do one or two things and go back to school again and study and get a certificate, then you can now, and you are able to nationalize also, then you can now start earning those big figures. So whichever way you want it, I mean, I think it's about $10 per hour, and if you do 10 hours, that's like $100. Do that conversion in Nigeria, it's more than the minimum wage in Nigeria. So who would want to stay? And that's what you stand to make in a day.
In just one day?
In just one day.
Sounds good, yeah.
So you can't blame them.
Yeah.
But this is where we'll round up Views from the Net. I'm sure you've been entertained. I'm sure you've learned one or two things. Stick around. We still have a whole lot more coming on the Breakfast Cafe. We'll be right back.
Byblos, founded as Gibbo by the Phoenicians in some 7,000 years. Byblos received its name from the Greeks, who imported the papyrus from this city in Lebanon. For centuries, the city has been the main exporter of papyrus to Greece. From the 4th millennium BC, the word Bible is derived from Byblos. The main sites of the city are ancient Phoenician temples, Byblos Castle, and the Church of St. John Mark, built by the Crusaders in the 12th century, as well as the medieval Old Town walls. The Byblos International Festival, majorly a musical festival, is a more modern attraction. Located 40 kilometers from Beirut, the city attracts tourists from all over the world, with its unique mix of beaches, mountains, and ancient ruins.
season on The Muse.
Retinue.
We walked the halls of creativity.
You know, people always judge by appearances.
Traveled through books.
As I pay for my pounded yam and for riro with goat meat stew and one king-size ogufe, now to chop the food remain.
We made art.
What? Oh my God!
And danced with the muses.
Oh, this here ends with EY.
Catch new episodes of The Muse on High Impact Television. Securing the future.
Well, if you just joined us, it is the Breakfast Cafe right here on High Impact TV. And you're welcome aboard. Yeah, it's all about you. My name is Vivian Aguche, and I got right opposite me, Olumide Shokoya. Now, this segment is where we're going to talk about topical issues, right? And today, we are taking a look at a presidential assurance of peace, which has faced challenges as insecurity persists in northern Nigeria. In a short while, we are going to be joined by a guest analyst whose forte is security. He is High Chief Umoru Darlington in a short while. But before he comes on board, though, let me give you a little background to this topic. Now, on the 1st of October, during his Independence Day speech, President Tinubu stated that over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders had been eliminated by our gallant troops in the northeast, northwest, and some other parts of the country. Now, we have restored peace. That's according to the president. He said we have restored peace to hundreds of communities in the north, and thousands of our people have been able to return home. Now, despite these claims, end of quote, I should say. Now, despite these claims, insecurity remains rampant across northern Nigeria. I mean, on the front pages of the newspapers today, we saw cases of kidnappings, you know, and banditry and all of that. Now, insurgent attacks, kidnappings, and banditry continue to disrupt lives and displace people. The gap between the government's optimistic pronouncements and the continued instability in these regions has raised critical questions about the effectiveness of current security measures and the path to sustainable peace. Now, these are the things we are going to be dissecting when our guest analyst joins us. Olumide, you remember that on the one hand, Senator Alundume had said that the military is not well equipped. And one of the governors who you had listened to on another platform said they were very well equipped.
Yes.
That is, what will I say now? Those are conflicting reports that we need to dissect. Yeah?
Yeah, according to him, he says it doesn't control the military or the police, that it's controlled by the federal government. And he has tried to put in his own security architecture, you know, to be some sort of like a support or to at least protect them from these bandits and terrorists and all that. But when asked severally, repeatedly, that why is this insurgents, why are they not neutralized, he said, well, they are doing their best. The security agents are doing their best. I mean, if you say you know where they live, you even know their parents, that they live among the community, and yet you cannot neutralize, you cannot pick them up. Is it that they are being protected under somebody, or what is actually going on? I mean, he said it's $1 million question. It shouldn't be $1 million question, but he said it's $1 million question.
And for a governor to come up and say this publicly, he must have thought it out very well, and he wouldn't make this kind of comments lightly.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the president had said on his October 1 speech that over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders had been eliminated, neutralized, if you want to use that word. Now, there's a possibility also that the president will not wake up and make this kind of claim without any form of truth behind it. So the thing now is, even if these commanders have been neutralized, they have some subordinates who can easily right, take over the affairs of whichever group they are handling. So it means that this must be a consistent neutralization of bandits and terrorists, right?
So then you should not have used that word neutralize. You should have been fighting against. We are succeeding in the fight against banditry, terrorism, and all that. That would have. So it boils down on the fact that do the president, do they fact check? Because yes, they get this report from security chiefs, but do you fact check them? Do you know, is it actually true? Because on the same papers, we get reports of military bombing the wrong place. The last report was they went to bomb, I think, a community. They said had terrorists in them, and they said they made quite scores of terrorists and all that. And the community came again and said, no, you actually killed the wrong people, and the amount you are claiming to have killed is more than what you are claiming. I mean, so it's just back and forth, and there's always been this controversy of that, this military intelligence. Are they actually getting proper intelligence? Are they even doing any interagencies? We have the DSS, we even have the military have an intelligence agency. I've been trying to remember I think it's a DIA, or I can't remember. They have their own intelligence agency, apart from the National Intelligence Agency, which seems to, we don't even know what's actually going on. The last we heard of the NIA was when allegations were made to that house in Ikoyi, where billions of naira in hard currencies were found and all that. So we have the National Intelligence Agency. What are they doing? What is the DSS doing? The police, are they even involved? I mean, they should be also involved, but it seems as if it's the military that is fighting this war, you know, at the forefront.
And that's unfortunate. There must be synergy between, you know, all of these agencies. Now, one of the things I'd like to ask guest analyst, if he joins us or when he joins us, is this: 1 year on, how would he assess Nuhu Ribadu, the former anti-graft chief who is currently the NSA? 1 year on, that's the National Security Advisor. How would you rate Nasiru El-Rufai?
You know, sometimes, not to discredit his position, but sometimes I do wonder the criteria being used to pick certain people. Like the NSA, the National Security Advisor, is a very sensitive position. Yeah. Now, I know Nuhu Ribadu must have had some form of police background, so
he was the former EFCC boss. Very prominent one. He did some good work when he was on board.
Yes.
Yeah.
So does he have a police background? Because for you to be a National Security Advisor or anything security,
he has a police background. He's a very senior officer in the police force.
Was he a police officer?
He was.
Are you sure about that?
And he was demoted at some point. If you follow his story very well, he was demoted at some point, asked to go back to school. There's been some controversy surrounding his career as a police officer, but he has been.
Well, I would like to ask our guest also that particular question. Was he actually a police? Because right now, the information I got from a reliable source was that the police have now hands off from the EFCC. You know, usually they recruited personnel from the police force into the EFCC. So now it's entirely different. Now the police are not doing that recruitment or whatever they call it anymore. It has been left to the hands of the EFCC now. So now, having an EFCC background, you investigated crime and all that, does that translate into security also? Do you think you have the right experience to know what is really going on? And also, you also said he has had his own fair share of controversies and all that. How did he fare from that? How did he come out top? I don't like to discredit his work, but, you know, isn't it strange that the same people that he was going after, the same people he was criticizing, he's in the midst of the same people he was criticizing, or he had been criticizing back then.
Things changed.
Things changed.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Exactly. $1 million question, which is one of the questions I would have loved for us to ask our guest analyst. Another question I'd love to ask our guest analyst is this one. Does he think that a cabinet reshuffle is essential? Does he think that the president needs to change the service chiefs, which is what some people have been calling for? I would like to find out what he thinks about that. Changing the service chiefs, does that help?
Why not remove them? Must you take one person? Because I think it's still political in a way. If you are removing one person and putting him into this place, why not remove that person out, bring in someone fresh, And who are you appointing? Are you appointing politicians or technocrats?
Yeah.
Those are the things. That boils down to the NSA. That boils down to so many things. I mean, the chief of defense, it boils down to that. So you have to also know this thing. You know, they say you cannot get a different result if you continue doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try a different approach if you want a different result. So have we been trying different approaches, or is it being the same? So many times we've had what the military term as mutiny, whereby soldiers come and say no, they don't want to, they are leaving their position, they don't want to become an army, they don't want to fight this Boko Haram again, that they are being paid, I think, I don't know how much they are being paid, but then the video that went viral, the army said it was being paid 50,000 naira per day. How much are they actually paid? Remember that particular general, that video of that particular general that went viral, that he said, according to him, they were given the wrong intelligence report, and he was removed. I think he was a commander of a particular troop then, and he gave that, he did a video then. He was even giving his troops morals. I think there was a particular soldier who was crying, and he was like, "Why are you crying? Why are you crying?" And he now, made a video that, oh, we actually got the wrong intelligence report. That's why it so happened. But what happened to him? So, are the military? Are they actually capable? If you look at the budget,
well, that's question. I mean, you remember ECOMOG. Nigeria's military force is ranked as one of the best in Africa, especially when it comes to peacekeeping efforts.
Yes.
So they're almost number one.
It reminds me of what one of our guests said, that we only excel in Microsoft Excel. But it seems as if we excel even outside Nigeria than within. It's quite alarming.
Now, there must be reasons responsible for that comment you just made. How well are these security operatives taken care of? Now, for example, a policeman who dies, what happens to his family? Are they well taken care of? You've had cases of
2 million naira and that's it.
I mean, in the past, you've had cases of a police officer who dies and his family are thrown out of the police barracks.
Well, even the barracks, how well is that place? Is it actually livable? Is it a place you can actually live? Because if you look at some of these police barracks and you just nod your head and you wonder, I mean, you won't be surprised why they are collecting their Roger on the road. All right, so we have our guest, this in person of Chief Umoru Darlington. He is a security expert. It's so good to have you. It's been a while, but it's always refreshing to have you on the program. Hi, Chief Darlington. Are you there?
The audio is not very good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
I'm struggling to hear you.
All right, let's try and see if we can fix this. Let's go on a short break and we'll come back.
As a child, what is most important to you is love, warmth, acceptance, and security. But as you grow, there is a paradigm shift in the way you approach life. The interest you lose in some things, you peak in other things. Sometimes, the road is smooth. Other times, it is rough. Every step of the way comes with a new hurdle to scale. You win some, you lose some. You laugh hard, you cry hard, but at the end, you look back with a fulfilling smile and say, "What a ride." High Impact Television equips you with what you need every step of the way.
Something big is in town. Something powerful and majestic. A mammoth creation destined to become a legend by all who encounter it. High Impact Planet, Nigeria's biggest family theme park, with facilities designed for friends, families, or large groups under a relaxing atmosphere. Be welcomed by wowing displays of animatronics, thrill out with realistic arcade games, or enjoy a number of thrilling hard racing park rides. Experience the 5D and 12D cinemas and challenge your mates with bumper cars and go-kart races. Don't forget to slide into the ice rink or simply take time out to enjoy a pizza at our delightful restaurant and dessert spot, or at the exquisite club lounge. High Impact Planet, 12 Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ibafo, opposite MFM Prayer City. Visit high-impactplanet.com for details and inquiries. Fun just got real.
Welcome back. We do apologize. We tried everything we could to bring our guests, but you know the network has a way of doing, has a way of surprising us these days. But I would like to still on this, talking about a square peg and a round hole. Now we all remember the Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State, who said that they've been trying well. Now, the Vanguard reports that according to Bello Matawale, he said that federal government will flush out bandits and criminals from the northwest. Now, Matawale is the former governor of Zamfara, the same state where we have Dauda Lawal complaining about what is going on. And so now, talking about a square peg in a round hole, picking someone like that and putting him as the Minister of Defense, what were the criteria used? Because if you're going to pick someone, you have to look at his state. And if security in his state or insecurity in his state is not something to write home about, why would you take that person to become a Minister of Defense?
That's a billion-dollar question, if you ask me, which boils down to the fact that square pegs now must begin to be the ones to fill square holes. But there was something else you also talked about earlier on. You talked about the capacity of the Nigerian army, you know, because we're taking a look at why it is so difficult to defeat these terrorists and bandits. Now, according to the Punch, the Nigerian military is rated the third best on the continent. Only Egypt is ranked number 12th in the world and number 1 in Africa. Algeria, which is second in Africa, is 31st in the world, and Nigeria, which is third in Africa, is 35th in the world.
35th.
But 35th in the world, but third in Africa.
In Africa? Well, maybe, I would still like to fact check that.
That is a good score, if you ask me.
It's a good score.
Yeah, so the military is doing well, but there are so many factors responsible for the less than par result we are receiving. But the thing is, when the presidency comes out to say that one of his achievements, right, is that it has neutralized over 300 Boko Haram commanders and bandit commanders. It's a good thing, but you must go beyond neutralizing the commanders. How well are you sustaining the fight against insurgency and terrorism? is another thing. How well are you catering to the families of deceased security personnel? What are the efforts you've put into the victims, the people who were kidnapped? What are you doing to ensure that they regain their freedom? These are some of the things the federal government must take a look at.
And if you look at it deeper, when you say 300 commanders, out of how many? And just like you rightly said, if you take out the head, another person will replace it. So if you neutralize 300 commanders, out of how many commanders? And are they being replaced? Or if you are going to neutralize, why not neutralize all of them? And this thing about Sambisa Forest, they said that we can't go into Sambisa Forest. Okay, fine, they said
and just level it.
Human beings or people are being used as human shield.
So there's the issue of collateral damage.
Yes. Now, with the collaborations of international communities, I think ECOWAS coming into play now to do this whole thing. I hope, or is it ECOWAS or ECOMOG? I don't know which of them, that are going to try and help Nigeria fight this insecurity and all that. I hope that we would get a head start. I hope that things would turn out well. Even though I know that if Nigeria ranks 3rd in Africa and 35th in the world, then why can't we just neutralize these people? And it's the audacity. They go after military checkpoints, they attack formations and all that. It's the authority they have. It's the how will I put it? What's that word?
You said it.
The
boldness.
Audacity.
Yeah, really.
The audacity, the effrontery they have to just think that they can do anything and get away with it. But it's $1 million question if you ask me, and just like this musician said, if you ask me, who will I ask?
That was Omawumi, right?
Omawumi.
Where's she anyway?
All right, so this is where we end this segment. Apologies we could not get our guest, but stick around. We still have something coming up. Let's go on a break, and while we come back, or while we're on that break, after the break, we'll take Trending. Stay tuned.
To be late this morning. The first one is the one of Mr. Kalu Jonah, MD CEO of Performer Projects and Services Limited, against the National Inland Waterways Authority. This dispute is about a contract that has gone sour, and the petitioner feels that for some reason it has been shortchanged, and he needs us to look into the matter. Mr. President, the second one is a pathetic one, is that of a 16-year-old who wrote JAMB exam, and in course of that exam, the invigilator was trying to be friendly with the 16-year-old, and she rebuffed him. And at the end of the exercise, her result was...
Just take it one more time. That she wrote JAMB exam?
Yes, she wrote JAMB exam.
And the invigilator was?
Trying to be personal, to be friendly with her and ask for her.
Was trying to?
Be friendly with her and ask for her number. She refused. And at the end of that exam, her result was then withheld. When the father inquired into why the result was withheld, they said because she did examination malpractice, which they seriously denied. The father made a phone call to the invigilator, who for some reason got her phone number and started calling her. And the father warned him not to call the daughter again. And from there, everything went haywire, and her result is in jeopardy, and they have refused to release that result. And so the father wants us to look into the matter and see how the daughter, the 16-year-old future, can be put back on track, as this will seriously derail her academic pursuit. These are the two petitions, Mr. President, and with your permission, may I come and lay them?
You may proceed to lay the petitions.
Welcome back. Like they say, wahala no dey finish. The video you just watched is actually on the floor of the Senate, a petition regarding a female 16-year-old female lady who actually sat for JAMB, and during the exam, the invigilator asked or requested for her phone number, maybe to probably send her personal results later on. I do not know.
That's
but
sarcasm. Yeah.
As a result of her refusal, or maybe she later, I don't know how he got it, he decided, or the JAMB decided to withhold the exam. So my first question is, did he have access to her result, and how was he able
to influence JAMB to withhold her result?
Her result. And even when the father made inquiries, they said she took part in examination malpractice. And the father even had to warn the guy to stop calling a 16-year-old. First of all, this is it's gruesome. It boils down on morality. But let's take the first comment. This is Purple Peaches. It says, "I wonder too, some people's lamba." Okay, the first person is Enyol Ronaldo. It says this can be done. JAMB invigilator withheld results. So in response to that, Purple Peachy said, "I wonder, some people's lamba," with very quite interesting emoji there. Now the next person, I think ARC Taiwo Aircraft Design, says, "Nah, obvious lie. Now it's possible." Now the next one,
he said it's not possible.
It's not possible. I think the next one, I can't see the person's handle well. But it says, "Why do you guys reason like children? Don't you know that the invigilator can simply write a report about his invigilation for the day and simply state in his report that the candidate with that particular exam number involved in malpractice."
So I think Jude C, that's the last person. That's the last comment you just read. I think his comment answers your question. That the invigilator might just make a note that this particular student was involved in malpractice, and that will influence JAMB's, withholding the result. Now, but for starters, I like the fact that this particular issue was discussed on the Senate. It's a good thing. But we also have more comments. It seems once every Nigerian has small power, they begin to abuse it. This is Igbira Connect. Interesting topic there. Like I said, I like the fact that the Senate took time to address this kind of issue, and also the fact that it is very, very unlawful for an invigilator to disturb a student who is writing an exam. Why would you go ask a student for her number while she's writing her exam? I wish we would also have the invigilator's side, have his side to this story too.
Before
we can make
in weeks to come or days to come, JAMB would respond to that. But if we do not have any other comment, I think this wraps it up for this segment, Trending. Let's go on a short break. And okay, I think we have 3 more. Let's quickly take this one. Adams Bed Massey, if I get that correct. It says, "How is this now a national issue?" It is a national issue because it's an underage issue. Now, in response to that, 100% or 101% says, well, I didn't get the first one. "Try it in a civilized country and find out you can do just that to..."
Pedo freak. It's talking about pedophilia. Really,
yes, exactly. Now, El Traficante says, "Pedo not a national issue. How will you feel if someone did this to your daughter or her, or your sister? That's not up to 18. That's not up to 18. Yeah. I think that answers the other person. And the last one, Brown Skin Cookie, says, "You are not serious at all." It is a national issue because 16 rather. It's an underage. It's an underage person, and why would you now go as far as withholding the result. That's too much. That's too much.
The thing is, probably JAMB didn't even know about this.
They don't investigate exactly
about this backstory, but I'm glad that it is on the front burner now and it will be investigated. Well, that wraps it up for us on this particular segment. We'll take a short break, and while we're at it, take a look at the weather. I noticed that Enugu and Katsina are mostly clear and sunny today. So, hey, guys, enjoy the weather, right? This is the size of our show, and we've got to say thanks to everyone who contributed to making the show a great success. Big thanks to you for watching and calling in. You made my day. I did have a ball today. So if you enjoyed it, why don't you keep a date with Sarah and Olumide for another bumper edition tomorrow. Until I see you again next week, I am Vivian Oguche. Have a fantastic weekend ahead.
Don't forget that you can also follow us on all our social media platforms at High Impact Studios, at High Impact TV, and The Breakfast Cafe _. I'm Olumide Shokoya. See you tomorrow.
Appian Way, one of the earliest and strategically most important Roman roads of the Asian Republic, is the Appian Way. Roman roads are considered monuments because of their histories that predates them. Over a period of centuries, Roman built an efficient network that ultimately stretched for over 50,000 miles, that is 80,000 kilometers, in an area that now belongs to more than 30 countries. At first, the Appian Way ran only 132 kilometers from Rome, southeastward to ancient Capua in Campania, but by about 244 BCE, it had been extended another 230 miles southeastward to reach the port of Brindisium, situated in the heel of Italy and lying along the Adriatic Sea. The highway, to be referred to as Via Appia, as it is called in Latin and Italian, but popularly known as Appian Way or Via Publica, is the Queen of Roads. It linked with Brindisium, now called Brindisi, the port city that was the gateway to the east. This road took its name from Appius Claudius Caecus, the Roman official who started building it about 312 BCE. As an advocate of the common people, a man of inner perspicacity, in the year of success, he was said to have lost his outer vision and thus acquired the name Caecus, meaning blind. Without waiting to be told what to do by the Senate, Appius Claudius began bold public works to address the supply problem. An aqueduct, the Aqua Appia, secured the water supply of the city of Rome. But by far the best known project was the road. The Appian Way was a Roman road used as a main route for military supplies. Carefully designed, Roman roads were built to be solid, useful, and beautiful. Ideally, the road connected a starting point with a destination by means of the shortest possible route, which explains why many have long straight stretches that allow long-distance view. Often, though, the road had to follow the natural contours of the terrain. Where possible, in hilly and mountainous areas, Roman engineers built their roads halfway up the slopes.